GM.
How are you?
We got shut down unexpectedly. What the fuck? It went on live.
Audience, can you see?
You can never see me now, eh? That's weird. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully, it is working now. Could somebody in the chat just let me know if this came back up? It says we have 12 people watching. That's good news. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, Mike Track. Cambo wants to be drunk in a bar with a ton of AM folks that all make that UG noise in the sound. We could do that. We could make that happen. GM. Yeah, it's working. Okay, good. Yeah, don't know what happened there. I think I updated setting on YouTube and fucked it up.
It just came on for me. That's why I didn't see it. I knew, just like last time, for some reason, it would just pop on and show up.
So last time after you got camera rugged, it ended up working.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, it just is a delay now. It starts in a few minutes or so.
Strange. I don't know. Don't know about that. What the fuck is going on, man? What's good? What's happening?
The Kaiju had a meetup in Singapore, and I was so damn jealous. I almost hopped on the plane. 27-hour flight. I wanted to be there. I don't know if you guys know, but Kaiju Kings hit a new all-time high over the weekend. Now sitting at 7 ETH.
Fuck yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
I don't own anything Kaiju. I never have. I missed out on that mint, unfortunately. A lot of FOMO there. One of the main reasons why I ended up quitting my job, because I was like, I missed out on shit like this. Not financial advice, by the way. But I was like, I gotta do something about this. I've never owned anything Kaiju, and it's one of the projects that I find myself just always so happy for.
Right.
A lot of it is Dots.
Yep. Getting
to know him jumping on the show. Loved that. But I mean, it's just such a cool community. I mean, how we're talking 6 months now?
Right.
Got to be in 6 months ballpark, right? And people are fucking still as bullish on it as the day that it minted.
Well, I talk a lot about how what happened in, November, December was like capitulation and despair. And you've seen it happen in communities before, but like it, as you said, there was this core bedrock that stuck through, and it's a team that delivers and doesn't overpromise. Like that was always the big thing. Their roadmap, they never put out a big flashy roadmap with dates and promises that could disappoint people. In fact, that's one reason there was so much despair in November and December. It was like, oh, well, where are these guys? What are they doing? Like blah, 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 right? Like that type of thing.
And that community was forged in fire too, right? Like we're talking the November bear market, lack of volume, everything dries up. Kaijus were low. They were right there for the taking. And that community stayed solvent. They were strong. They were believers. They were in it. And you look at where it came, the trajectory out of there, and it's like walking up a staircase, it flat, like maybe not a staircase, but this is where real communities are formed. And that word community gets used. So, I mean, we say it all the time. It's probably just preaching to the choir at this point, but
no. And
when a community can go through that, 7 ETH might as well be programmed.
Right. And that's the thing, we talk about P2E a lot, and there's a lot of projects that are talked about. I don't think people realize this is P2E, and this team, Augmented Labs, is about to launch one of the more ambitious roadmaps by a team that can actually execute it. And if you read their recent white paper, you would realize how hard you're sleeping and why I, with 100% seriousness, no Gen Kaijus are going to 30 ETH. I mean, those babies are worth 10, those mutants are worth 3. And when you see what this game is going to be producing, I think people will understand why. You're muted, my friend, or...
I am. Yes, I was typing and I was trying not to make noise. Then I forgot. How long do the babies go on for? Like, is this an indefinite thing? It's not, right? Or are they done?
They will be done at 6,666 babies.
Gotcha.
I forget the exact number now. Supplies at like 5,400. So I guess like 1,000 something have been made. Or,
Right.
2,000 and something have been made.
So there's still some time left.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's what are they at? 1.6, 1.7 right now? You think there's an entrance there for people that really want in?
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I saw some chat in the DGen dojo about this earlier this morning. You think the price could get better, or it's up only?
It's very hard. The problem with a project like Kaiju Kings is this wasn't some quick pop.
Right.
This move to 7 has been like clawing through glass and mud the whole time. Now, it's not as fun when you're in it. But once you get to somewhere like 7 ETH, you feel really good about the price because you know there's actual support there. Like this wasn't like all the pops we saw over the weekend on a Yuga video that literally round tripped within hours of happening. Those are artificial pops. This is something that has been building and building and building for months. I mean, could there be always? We got up to 6 before, we pulled back to 4. Maybe we get up to 8 and we pull back to 6, and we get to 10 and these pullbacks happen along the way, but I don't ever expect the 50, 60, 70%. I mean, look back through the period we just went through. Kaijus were at 6 ETH when we went into that big liquidity suck week with Invisible Friends and Stark Edita. They fell to 5. I think they were at like 4.95 at their worst. And I mean, there is no collection that could have said that. Apes were down 50%. Punks were down 50%.
That's right. Yeah.
Kaijus barely budged. All right. I think there is a ton of real support at lower prices. I mean, I don't want to say anything's up only, but this has as good a chance of any. I think 10 is programmed at this point.
Yeah, I really do love seeing that like slow, steady growth too. A lot of times we get so when moon, blah 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 blah. It just keeps getting there, right? Like it feels so organic. It feels so stable, and it feels like it would take a big misstep from Dots and that team to really do some damage to that brand, and I don't think that they have it in them. I think that they're very careful. They're very delicate with it. Mm-hmm. And as you said, they manage the expectations very, very well. So I love to see it. Love to see that from the Kaijus. Cool. Yeah. Well, we got through the technical glitch. Thanks for sticking around. Do you want to do the ye old drum roll? GM DGens, and welcome to the March 21st edition of the AM Show, episode 94, almost at that 100 mark. I am your host, R2DGen, and I am joined with me by the fabulous free market capitalist.
Hey now.
It's Monday. We're back to a regular week here. I got some of the personal stuff that I had going on last week out of the way. It was good. And now I'm excited to be back to our normal Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. scheduled time. It's good, man. I had a good weekend. I missed you, though. How are things?
You. Things are fabulous. Fabulous.
Yeah. It seems like we're like teetering on this idea that there is or there isn't volume. I guess it really depends on what your portfolio and what bags you're holding right now, whether you've been the recipient of a good run or not. But it seems like there is some life there. We're still kind of kicking and thrashing. Markets maybe playing a little bit of a role in that. We had a great Friday on the S&P, as we were talking about on the show. Actually looks like it's being pretty stable right now. Bitcoin and ETH rallied. ETH definitely being the recipient of a bigger swell than Bitcoin. I'll pull that up right now, but on the 7-day, we are up 15% on ETH, and looked like this morning taking a bit of a run at 3,000. For the time being, though, trading sideways could be really, really beneficial for the NFT market. We feel like maybe put some distance in between those really treacherous waters down of like 2,400, 2,500. 2200, and with that distance, maybe there's a little bit of comfort sitting there. I don't know. What do you see? What are you seeing? What are you feeling?
You know what we have in the market right now, which we haven't had for a very long time, R2? We have disagreement.
Perfect.
Disagreement. And
how dare you disagree with me? No.
I don't think that people understand how valuable that is. The reason ETH couldn't get above 5,000 and the reason Bitcoin couldn't get above 67 or wherever the hell it stopped was because everybody thought it was going higher. Everybody was bullish. There was nobody left to buy. Okay. Now we have had a major crash. One of the more boring markets when you think about how sideways we've been for over a year. I mean, we've been consolidating for a very long time right now under these all-time highs. And one of my favorite crypto Twitter follows is PandaFoo69. I don't know if you guys know who Foo is, but Foo is just one of the best follows out there. And he's pretty bearish right now, which I like. And this guy isn't a perma bear. He likes to go back and forth, but he is convinced we're going to Goblin Town. All right. And I hadn't seen any huge crypto Twitter personalities absolutely convinced that we were. And this type of disagreement is what's going to support the trend. I do think that it's not that I think we are obviously in an uptrend. We've been in an uptrend for a very, very long time. And I do think it's going to resume at some point. The charts all look fabulous in the short term. They've all firmed up, whether we're talking about the S&P 500, ETH, or Bitcoin. The ETH Bitcoin ratio, on the other hand, is flashing some interesting bearish signals. And, there is always, no matter how bullish things look, there's always going to be a few things where you go, that's weird. That shouldn't be like that if we were bullish. And that's kind of the ratio right now. I don't really know what it says about the action short term necessarily, but as far as I could tell right now, ETH is stuck between 2,800 and 3,000. It seems to be bouncing there. I think all of us wouldn't mind if it stayed there as long as possible. But I'm looking at also the S&P 500 because, as you know, with the inflation and geopolitical concerns, we've been watching it very closely. Well, it has rallied extremely hard here over the last few sessions to the point where we're running up into the last major resistance on the chart. The last major resistance in the S&P 500 is about 45.20. We're very close to there. Now, the healthiest thing would be for us to start consolidating already, ramping right into 45.20 right now would likely cause a very big retrace and give the bears a chance to try to push some momentum and break the chart again. It'd be great if we were just consolidating here right now, which we kind of are. We're we've been waffling between down 0.2 and up 0.2 all morning in the futures. Would love to just see some consolidation here, but here's my main point. We got way too extreme on the downside because of inflation and geopolitical risk. And the reason is obviously all that data is backwards looking, right? When you get inflation data, when things happen and the news reports them, you're talking about things that have already happened. And markets are very good forward-looking indicators. They priced all that stuff in before it happened. So when we actually got the news, sure, it was shocking to see the numbers or shocking to see things play out, but the market had already expected it. And unless something more extreme or something we did not expect happened, it would have been very hard to push new lows. And it's why I was so bullish when there was blood in the street. And it's very hard to do. You buy when people are most fearful. You sell when people are most complacent. But it's not easy. You get caught up in it as well. We're human. We can't help it. That was the main point. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say I was listening to the All In podcast. That's the one with like Chamath and David Sachs and all of that stuff, and they were talking about it too. And he was kind of actually going over like how much he actually watches retail, like just buys and sells, and basically just counter trades that. And he's just like it's that market mentality of like once that capitulation starts to happen, they just slam the buy button, right?
Yeah.
And it again. with the geopolitical stuff that we have going on, obviously in reference to, you know, Russia invading Ukraine, and that's still going on, and it's still a very bad situation. But the worst case scenario in that situation means we don't care about money anymore. So the rest of it, like you said, is kind of already baked in, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of times you're actually looking at it and it sounds unsympathetic or cold and calculated or something, but the market is going to tell you kind of, you know, the direction things are headed in and whether or not it feels good, because it is an aggregate of psychology and intelligence and all of that stuff. So pretty fascinating when you start to liken it like that. And of course you never want to diminish the human realities behind those situations, but you know, we are talking about crypto, NFTs, and stocks on this show, and you know, the markets are smart and they're efficient.
And the other thing we are seeing, which I think has surprised people, is as ETH has bounced back from 2,500 to 3,000, NFTs have rallied. This must be counterintuitive to all of you that have been programmed to believe that NFTs cannot go up while ETH goes up. I have tried to caution against this thinking for a very long time, not just because it was a transient effect even when it played out, but because it was a correlation that didn't even happen all the time. And what was happening underneath the was that people were being conditioned to believe it had to happen. You could not find me one person trading NFTs who wouldn't say to you, when ETH goes up, NFTs go down. And anytime I said it was hogwash, anytime I said that correlation was spurious, I got eye rolled, laughed at, and told I was stupid. Just look at the evidence. Well, I will tell you that, especially in the situation we were in, where everything was sold because we were risk off. I mean, it happened the other way too, right? ETH went down, but NFTs didn't go up because ETH were going down. Because when we go risk off, all risk assets, regardless, get sold. Even gold will get sold during risk off period, true risk off periods. They're liquidity events. That's what they are. People go search for liquidity. It's not about finding which asset you're going to think is going to outperform. It's about your lizard brain going, oh shit, it's all collapsing. Let me get as much liquid as possible and go hide in a cave. And that is the opposite effect of that is when we finally do find a bottom, everything is allowed to rally together. Bonds, stocks, gold, NFTs, all assets rally at the same time. And we're kind of seeing that now to an extent. I do expect the correlations to kind of kick back in eventually. If ETH did get above, say, 3,300, you certainly would see NFTs start to cool off. And I think that's just more a factor of, again, people always rotate into what's hot and people would start chasing alts and all that type of stuff. But my underlying point with that is always, it's not about the nominal dollar value of ETH for the most part, because people pumping the price of NFTs are thinking in ETH for the most part. I mean, we make jokes all the time about, you know, like I went out and minted an ounce of hash over the weekend for 0.8. All right. I mean, people were talking about, I bought a new MacBook over the weekend for 0.8.
Oh, I saw that going on Twitter too. Yeah.
It's just how we think. And honestly, it's so much easier to wrap your head around buying shit, like expensive shit in public, when you're like, oh, all right, it's 0.8. Like, I get that now. Like, it's $2,300. You're like, fuck you, $2,300. 0.8, sure. Take my money.
Well, let's talk about this other article that I have pulled up here too, because I feel like ETH could kind of decouple a little bit here in the coming months if what we think is on the horizon is actually on the horizon. So nearly $6 billion now in ETH has been burned as Ethereum 2.0 edges closer. The second largest cryptocurrency, Ethereum, has officially destroyed more than 2 million ETH via a burn mechanism introduced last year, which was obviously the London fork.
London fork ETH. Go ahead.
Yeah, for the low price of 100 ETH. So ETH is now deflationary. It has burned almost 2% of its supply. There's about 120 million ETH circulating. As we start to consolidate, holdings get tighter. People start to hoard their ETH a little bit, especially maybe even get locked up in NFTs and whatnot. we could see a supply crisis kind of start to come into effect here, which obviously makes things go up. But also, I'm wondering if you think maybe is this like one of those opportunities of buy the rumor, sell the news. Once ETH actually says, okay, we're, and this is speculating, but September 1st, where ETH 2.0 is going live. We're ready to go. This is what's happening. Boom. ETH goes on a huge run. September comes along, and then everyone realizes the network still works the same way that it did before. It's still great. Like, is that something you see in the future? Or do you think that ETH 2.0 could just usher in a new era of Ethereum and a new plateau?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think ETH is a sounder currency than Bitcoin or the US dollar. And I think that these burn mechanisms, it's a deflationary currency. And I think demand for this inflationary currency is going to go up and more is going to be burned because of it. It's an exponential effect. And we have ETH2 now on the horizon, which has new technology in it that doesn't even have to do with sharding, that people believe can reduce gas fees in some dramatic amount, even without the sharding that we know is a little further out and coming. When you combine that with Solidity devs utterly fucking killing it on a regular basis and just coming up with better smart contracts. I mean, smart contracts could be the most revolutionary thing that's happened in our lifetimes. And we may not understand how that plays out for another 10 years yet. I mean, we all know because we're here, but how it actually plays out, we don't understand. It's very hard to not be bullish on the Ethereum network. I don't even think market caps make a lot of sense when talking about, like, when we talk about market capitalization in the stock market and the metrics that go into it and why they're important, I don't think crypto has any, like,
I agree with that.
Market cap. There's no reason to me crypto couldn't have $100 trillion market cap. Like, it has nothing to do. It's not a company that brings in revenue. Okay, it's
more of a commodity than anything. No, like
it's a very strange new phenomena that, look, I don't even know if people in the industry can wrap our heads around it. We're constantly iterating and figuring out a new thing and going, wow, this was this to begin with, and it's very fascinating and amazing, but it's why I'm an ETH maxi. I just think there's something here that's beyond revolutionary. It's completely world changing.
That's actually a great point too, because you're right. It is an apples to oranges kind of comparison, in the same way that, you watch someone make an $8,000 investment in SHIB turn into over $1 billion, because 10 years ago, I mean, that was impossible. Like, it just didn't happen in a year. There was or ever really. And now it's possible. And like, so you say $100 trillion market cap, you say, well, that means it's bigger than Apple, Google, Facebook, all of that combined. And it's like, so what does that even mean anymore? Right? Like, you're talking about an entirely different asset class. And it doesn't mean that there's $100 trillion locked away in it. It just means that the value of the last ETH sold justifies that market cap.
Right. What is the market cap of electricity?
Right. Yeah.
The monetization of what's the market cap of oil? Oil is what runs our transportation network. Okay. What is ETH? All right. It's a communication network. All right. Which is essentially transportation. All right. What's the market cap of fucking oil? That's what asking what the market cap of ETH is to me. Again, Ether. The market cap of Ether versus what the Ethereum network is worth are also two completely different conversations that I would rather have someone from Bankless on to discuss than me. When he goes super deep into it. But, these are very nuanced, interesting conversations. But I think even when you zoom out to a 40,000 square foot view, you say these things are very undervalued relative to what they could do for civilization.
Last conversation before we move into NFTs, just because it was a hilarious exchange.
You have to do raid party before Zach's brain.
We'll talk about raid party.
It's on the top of our mind.
Yeah.
You and I have been obsessed all weekend.
Yeah, we started to do the pre-show and we're going over the topics we have, and then we just start talking about Raid Party, and it's like, oh shit, we got to go. Like, it is a very exciting topic.
Raid Party's world, we're all just living in it.
It's true, yeah. If you want one last reason to be bullish on ETH, this hilarious exchange went down on Twitter. Somebody basically said that Vitalik, who was on the cover of Time magazine, looked like a dystopian version of Tom Brady, or Tom Brady did math, or Tom Brady didn't eat for 2 years, blah, 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 blah. Okay, being mean, whatever. The guy is worth billions of dollars and is, on the front line of creating one of the most important technologies. He'll be all right, and I'm sure he doesn't take any offense to it. But he actually responded to some of these by saying he actually had no idea who Tom Brady was and that he had to look it up and ask some friends about it. I'm actually inclined to believe him too, because I mean, this guy is just so like uber focused, blinders on everything crypto, everything Ethereum, that I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't know what the word or the acronym NFL stood for. But then Tom Brady went on to comment on it too. And it was just one of those really fun news events that actually happened. Tom Brady responded with, "What's up, Vitalik? You may not know me, but just wanted to say I'm a big fan of yours. Thank you for everything you've built in the world of crypto. Otherwise, autograph wouldn't have been possible. I hope I get to meet you someday. You're the GOAT." Those are some serious words coming from Tom Brady, but it was kind of heartwarming. I'm getting kind of tingles, good feelings about this, and I think the world's a better place for it.
Yeah, I loved what Tom Brady did here. Of course, Vitalik is daddy. I will admit, I would like it if the custodian of my net worth didn't look like he could blow away in a light breeze, along with every bit of money I've ever had. But I think that he is daddy.
Yeah, no, I listen when I listen to him on the podcast. It's like one of those fork in the roads for humanity that nobody talks about. But I just mentioned it on the show a couple weeks ago. This guy almost got hired by Ripple to go work on XRP, and my God, what a different world we'd be living in right now if that had been the case. Dodged a giant bullet there, but no, Vitalik was having fun with it too. He's his best guess was that Tom Brady was the actor for Mission Impossible, but Vitalik uber focused on only crypto.
Now, my next question would have been, do you know who the actor for Mission Impossible is?
I do.
Doesn't.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, Tom Cruise. That's another name that he clearly doesn't know. Yeah, true. Good point. Let's talk some NFTs. Let's talk about Pepe's. This was actually a really good article, and it was framed really well, actually. How rare Pepe NFTs reclaimed Pepe the Frog and why they remain relevant. Pepe the Frog isn't just one of the oldest internet memes. He's actually one of the oldest NFTs. After Pepe was briefly associated with the alt-right, Web3 reclaimed the meme. Obviously, this is in reference to Pepe being used a lot in the Donald Trump not in his campaign, but his supporters using it against Hillary Clinton, blah, 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 blah. But Pepe has a serious relevance in NFTs. Pepe is important. And, Pepe is one of those legacy things, the OG NFT meme, really. And I know you're always bullish when you see things Pepe.
Pepe the Frog. We love Pepe the Frog. Yeah, I think we talk about Sartoshi. We talk about Kevin. We talk about many memes. I mean, this is the most important meme in all of crypto. I'm very bullish on rare Pepes as well, but it is a very difficult world to entrench yourself in, as they are on the emblem protocol, and it's very difficult to know the supply of certain ones, and I don't exactly know why. You got to go to Orca. He's the rare expert in the DGen dojo. But I can't stop calling it that, Decoy, because that's what his name is. It's Pepe.
Yeah, I was like, is my Canadian accent coming through?
Oh, no. It's I think he wants us to call him Pepe, but Pepe? I am not calling him Pepe. It's Pepe. Pepe the Frog.
Red Pepe's, all things Pepe.
Mhm.
And then, of course, maybe the biggest news for NFTs coming out over the weekend was Yuga Labs teases Bored Ape Yacht Club metaverse with CryptoPunks, Cool Cats, Nouns NFTs. A trailer posted to social media suggests a 3D gaming experience powered by Animoca, but that hasn't been officially confirmed. This was actually quite a cool trailer. They obviously put some production value in it. Some people called it cringe and whatnot, but I had fun watching it, and it was kind of cool to see all of the stuff going down in it. I think I can just pull this up. It's not going to play the sound, but yeah, you obviously checked out the trailer. Cool Cats were the recipient of a pump after that, and actually good for them too, because Cool Cats were one of those projects that were looking a little bit down and out. We were talking about how the Ape coin should have some knock-on effects, down from the blue chip projects down to maybe the tier ones, like the I guess should say Azuki at this point, Azuki, uh, oh my God, Doodles, and then Cool Cats. Cool Cats weren't really getting that run that we were expecting. And it was, I guess, maybe still some FUD going on from the failed launch of Cool Pets, which is still yet to happen. But the Yuga Labs trailer put a little bit of life in their project, so I'm happy for the Cool Cats holders that it's not all doom and gloom through this lack of volume. What did you make of the trailer? What did you think of it? Do you think this was a good advertisement? Do you think it was cringe, like some people were saying?
I don't know what to make of it. I saw how bullish people were off of it. I am not convinced anyone wants to hang out in the metaverse. I don't even know. I feel like the most valuable thing about an ape is going to the club, taking out your phone and showing it to some girl while you drink champagne. I think that's the most valuable thing about an ape. I don't know who is hanging out in the metaverse or doing what in there, but okay. I I guess they now have a new companion collection coming, which look like little Carafurus kind of
Yes. Yep. Yep.
chilling around. And then they got all these different things in the ship, which we have no indication they have any partnerships with. This could have just been them saying, "Hey guys,
Yep.
we'd like you to come play with us too." I don't know why Cryptodes were in there. That's CCO. That's never getting sold to Yuga Labs. I'm not sure what they were implying. I guess a lot of people have thought that the other side is going to be somewhere where the apes and anything in Yuga Labs is allowed to chill. And then there's going to be other parts of the metaverse for other projects that are public. I don't know. The video didn't really impress me. I'm not bearish on it. It just didn't make me bullish. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. And all the pumps that happen in these collections were given back within a few hours. They round trip pretty quickly. And now that Cool Cats are 8.1, maybe that fucking team could buy one for their community manager so that she could celebrate with you guys next time you're in the news. Because that kind of pissed me off over the weekend when I saw
Their community manager doesn't have a Cool Cat. That's not even a knock on the community manager.
Yeah, yeah. When I saw your community manager who you just hired having to tweet out, "Oh, I'd love to celebrate with you guys, but I don't quite have a cat yet." Maybe buy one off the fucking floor for her.
Give the community manager a Cool Cat.
Right.
Holy.
She's your community manager.
It's not like she's going to turn around and sell it. Like, what kind of look would that be?
NFT for her. I've never been so angry in my life. I love Queenie. Shout out to Queenie.
I didn't know that was actually a thing. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about this. I know a lot of people were like talking about, oh, these things take years to develop. Like, how are they going to turn this around? Like, even, AAA games take, hundreds of millions of dollars, which obviously, Yuga has at this point. It's done by Animoca. Animoca owns is the parent brand of Sandbox. Like I'm willing to put money on it that they're just going to be reskinning and retooling their existing kind of metaverse. Obviously, Yuga Labs, we saw on the roadmap, has tons of land that are coming into play with this as well. But I mean, you said who's chilling in the metaverse? I tend to agree with you. Like, you had some fun with World Wide Web 3. That was cool to see people doing it, but are you chilling in it on a regular basis? No, that's fine. Sandbox, like Decentraland, sure, they have some parties being thrown in it, and it's cool, but are you going in there on a regular basis? No, not really. Maybe some people are. I do actually think that Bored Apes would be one of the brands that might actually do it. Like I could see with some functionality at play that could become their new Discord, and maybe it is a way that they maybe they have some of these partner brands, whether or not they actually own them, that they kind of invite in, like kind of getting like almost like a true metaverse, like Metalink vibe, where there's certain access to projects and whatnot, and they can continue to grow it. I don't know. That would be my gut intuition. But I do actually think that with the way that the Bored Ape community loves their meetups, loves their hangouts, like I could see it. I could totally see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I am just not. I the more I've thought about all of this over the weekend, the more it worries me. But I think I need to digest what's happening here more. All this is getting me is extremely bullish on MFers, which I thought was fucking hilarious because one of the slides from this supposed deck of theirs was going around and it had MFers in one of the slots. Yeah, good
Did
luck,
it really?
Yuga.
In what context?
I don't know. I guess they were talking about characters that could be in the metaverse or whatever.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
I don't know, man.
Those things would look terrifying running around.
All I know is I saw people FOMOing into apes and mutants over the weekend as well, which are already off the highs. I don't know how you go buying things at the top after a news event when there are so many small and medium collections that are going to go up so much more than that. I mean, I don't know.
I think they've transcended. I think that they don't play by normal NFT trading rules. I think it's just people want one.
I need to think about ApeCoin and the Otherside more because
Well, how is ApeCoin actually doing right now? We should probably check on that.
I think it's under $10.
Is it? I might actually start picking some up here. Yeah, it's $10. $10 even right now. Try and get up on the screen. It's great exposure to this, the ecosystem. I think that if you were looking for it, and obviously it's hard to justify, it's hard for most people to be buying a 100 ETH Bored Ape, a 20 ETH Mutant Ape, even a 10 ETH Kennel Dog, Bored Ape Kennel Club. Sorry. This is good exposure. I might actually just pick some up and let it sit in the wallet for a while because I do just think that the relevance and the attention is always on them. I do think that, Bored Apes have transcended into this kind of new paradigm of like, I don't even think people are buying these for the investment access to it. I think they just want them now. I think that that's where we're at. And we've talked about that with celebrities, but I think we could talk about that with whales too. I think that there's just people that have just no intention of selling these. So, but very, very good stuff coming out of Yuga Lab. I enjoyed it. A lot of people kind of rolled their eyes, but I thought it was a pretty good trailer that they had. Going into some lesser known NFTs, we had Juicebox pop up over the weekend. Juicebox Frens, sorry, my apologies, minted out. There's 6,969 generative meme art drop. It is one of those meme projects. No Discord, no roadmap, no plans. Just take it or leave it. They're pretty out there. I'm kind of getting like Howlers meets MFers kind of vibes, just like kind of really just in your face, take it or leave it kind of art. Definitely saw a lot of people talking about them. They minted out. They were 0.072 and they are sitting at, I'll give this the refresh, but pardon me, about 2x mint price right now. And I'm trying to rug by OpenSea, of course. I'm trying to figure out. I kind of want to buy one or two of these. I don't know if this is one of those reveal price goes down or reveal like price goes skyrocketing. Not even going to begin to suggest it, but I mean, people are loving the degen plays. They're loving the memes, and I think this might be something. Are you there?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Correct. Might be something. I always talk about who gets into a project as one of the more bullish indicators of it, and all the cool kids like the Juicebox Frens. You saw for a very long time, Sarah was making one of ones for people. They were based on their forever PFPs. It was this thing that once you saw all the cool kids getting one, you had to have one, and a generative project was born out of it. I always think those are the best. Those are the purest and most authentic things because it's like something that just had insane demand and people wanted was forced out of someone in a good way. Like, please, you got to do this for us. We love these. And they did it. It was an amazingly successful launch, sitting there above mint. They're very cool.
Yeah, OpenSea is not cooperating with me right now. This is really shit. So bear with me. But yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I think I'm gonna buy one of these just for that. Just because. But yeah, I mean, 0.14 slow week. Attention is trying to find some place to hang on to, and this could be one of those things that people have a lot of fun with and start throwing them in their profile picture. This is really annoying. Fucking OpenSea. The other thing that went down this weekend yesterday was the Murray reveal. Murray by House. This was one that was being talked about a lot. Obviously, it's kind of in the realm of Azuki, although Azuki holders get very offended when you start talking like that. And honestly, I think Murray holders get offended too. I guess for the keen anime fan, the art style is quite different. These had some mixed reactions about the reveal, although I'm not even going to dare refresh this. But 1.1 ETH, it did dip down after the reveal to about 0.8 as there was some consolidation, trading hands in there. 10,000 of these with 6,600 owners. That's actually a really, really nice distribution. So if you want something to be really bullish about, the holder count is, the average is less than 2. So a lot of people have that choice: take the profit or hold the project. And we have 10,000 ETH traded right now. I want to talk about the art a little bit, but I want to get your first reaction to this as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things that seemed like a predestined cook based on who was interested in it and the pedigree of the art collective of House that this person came from. Obviously, it's very similar to Azuki, but it's not an Azuki derivative. I think that this is a well-known artist putting out work that she cares about and loves. Now, I do think that everyone was very excited when they revealed, and I saw everybody changing their PFPs to them. And I think as people more closely inspected, they felt a little let down towards the end. But I mean, this one was quite the cook for a few hours there.
Yeah, for sure. I could definitely see this continuing on its run. I'm not, again, I feel so betrayed by Azuki, not betrayed by Azuki, the team or the project or anything. But while that was going on, it really kind of did make me realize that we were in a whole different world of NFTs at that time versus, let's say August, September, October of last year, because it was so bizarre for a project like Azuki to not only just go straight to 10 ETH, but like really just crush it 17 ETH, 18 ETH. So I'm not even going to pretend to like say that, anything is off the table with Murray's. Again, like you said, it's not a Azuki derivative. It's not a copy of it. This is, relatively a common art style. And yeah, I mean, they have a lot going on. It's community-driven story. There's going to be manga involved in it. There's going to be the opportunity for some of the floor Murrays to potentially be more rare if there's participation in one of the storylines. There's a lot of community-driven votes going on, and I think that it's going to do a good job of forming a community around it. I've already seen people incredibly bullish on the long-term prospects of it, and yeah. I gotta say though, when I looked at the reveal, I was a little put off just by how dark it all is. Like, we talk about the importance of things being in a PFP and how it's a representation of you. And sure, there's way more to the project here than just having it as your PFP. But at the core essence of it, this is a flex that people want to have. It's an identity. And I just find that the color palette is so dark and so similar on all of them that it kind of, I was a little off put. I think this, like, stylistically, the quality of the art is really good. Like, if you're just looking at this as a single piece, right? Like, you just pull it up. Like, I have no issues with it. I think they did a really good job. It looks clean. The effects on it are really nice. But I don't know. I just it left like a little bit to be desired. Somebody in the DGen dojo, I think it was Orca, pointed out that like they could have done a lot more with the mouth traits. Like I think a lot of them are just kind of have the same really small closed lip expression, and maybe they could have varied that up a little bit. But for me, it's just like it was just the color palette, and that's a personal thing. That's not a knock on anybody that's bullish on these, but I think in terms of like individual art pieces, I think they're really well put together.
I'd have been pissed if I had gotten one of the ones with the hand in front of the face.
In front of the face? Oh, like that one?
Making the shocker. You see that? She's doing the shocker. Putting her hand in front of her.
Oh, I didn't even see that one. Some pretty big sales going down, though. And I mean, maybe this was the other thing. And feel free to disagree with me, especially people in the chat. I also found like maybe some of the some bigger sales have gone down. Some of these look really good, so there's some differentiation there. Last time I checked, like some of them were a little plain Jane, but yeah, I mean, let me know if you minted this. Let me know if you're holding this, because I do think that this is going somewhere, and if it's not short term, I definitely think it has some long term implications there.
And unlike Azuki, at least these ones will look you in the eye as they go to zero.
We're going there, are we?
I'm sure it's a very good project. I'm
just fucking around. Cool. And then yes, so I know some people were bringing it up. The Gucci Grail is all minted. They are pre-reveal, so there's going to be a lot of Guccified profile pictures out there. They kind of capped out at about 1.7 ETH over the weekend as the mint passes expired. For anybody looking to shop for these pre-reveal, there was a strategy going down, and it's not like a big secret at this point. So I don't feel like I'm letting the cat out of the bag, but a lot of people were snooping through the wallets of people that actually used the mint pass and looking at some of the profile pictures that they could have applied it to. And there was some definite Bored Ape holders and stuff where they were going for a premium, as people maybe looking for the Gucci version of somebody's Bored Ape to be, an unofficial entranceway into the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And plus it's Gucci. I mean, it's one of the biggest names in the world.
Gucci with the matching interior.
Keep it going. Will throw a beat on for you?
Yeah. No, that is Gucci. Very cool.
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up on that one.
I love the 10 KTF, that whole thing.
Yeah, that was one that like I bought a while ago, just while it was kind of in its hype cycle, and I didn't I thought about selling it a bunch of times, and I'm glad I didn't, because it's one of those weird projects that like luckily has paid off for me, and it is just my own luck involved in it. But I mean, I got the super sharp scissors, which I think are going for like 3 or 4 ETH now. I got them airdropped to me, and that was like 1.5 ETH at the time, and then yeah, I managed to win the Gucci Grail drop and sold it. I didn't have a profile picture that I was applying it to, but I managed to sell it a couple hours before it expired, and it worked out really well for me. So I mean, I can't say enough good things about 10 KTF, but it is very biased. It is very selfish. But again, it's a Beeple related project. They're very diligent with maintaining their brand and this Wagmi-san's shop, and you get to go in and make stuff. I think they're building something that's really cool there. And I mean, I would just continue to keep an eye out for stuff like this, because I eventually they will come out with physical wearables.
That was like the best part of the bull run of the summer. Like, I will always remember that 10K. Everything was possible back then, guys. There were no rugs. It was all pie in the sky. Everything was. Oh, God.
Was that what it was? Yeah, everyone was throwing their Bored Apes and their mutant apes on the shoes. And,
oh, baby.
Yeah.
It was a time.
Yeah, I bought really high on it. I bought a Pudgy Penguins high top sneakers. I think I paid like 0.45 for it or something, which wasn't a good trade. It has probably never been higher than that price, but it just continues to be a cool project. And fortunately for me, again, just luck it's paid off in spades. So yeah. I know people wanted us to bring up Raid Party. We've talked a lot about Raid Party on this show and how it's going, but man, it has had a weekend.
Heroes flipped fighters, by the way.
Yeah, this morning Heroes flipped fighters, and they are kind of off to the races. Again, important to remember that Heroes are the basically the entrance ticket into the game, right? Like you have to have a hero to play. Hero does minimal amounts of damage, but you have to have a hero. You can't just use fighters, although they enhance with the hero. Last week you were talking about how heroes could be the long-term play. They've definitely turned around. I gotta say, I was kicking myself because I was looking to upgrade my hero. Right now, I have a 14-5 hero, which I think for all intents and purposes, that's basically a floor, right? I was looking to upgrade to a 16.6. I saw one sitting there for 2.1 ETH. I was like, I could probably sell some stuff to free up some liquidity for that. And then, the next one was 2.2. Then I had to go out. I checked back 2.9. I'm like, shit, now I got to really try. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to. Then it sold. Now it's like 3.5. So, I mean, heroes have been going on a hell of a run. Fighters are over 1 ETH. Heroes are over 1 ETH. Confetti, I'll pull it up. But last time I checked was at about $34. I think it hit as high as 37 this morning. And I mean, from a pure ROI standpoint, this is just absolutely unreal. Like, what are you yielding? What was your rough investment into the project?
If
you want to say,
I put 2.9 ETH total because I did buy another fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I guess 3.5 because I bought another fighter and another hero. The assets I have are worth a little over 14 right now, and they're producing about 2 ETH a week.
Which is just absolutely unreal. I mean, it's obviously gone up. We talked about how this was more of a slow burn and it hasn't gone parabolic yet. And yet it was something to look forward to. I'm still going to go on there and say it hasn't gone totally parabolic, although this is a nice string of green candles.
It's going $100. It's not even close to parabolic. I'm not even saying that lightly. There is a huge, there is a supply crisis in this game on a few different levels. Confetti being one of them, heroes being another. You got to understand, to mint a hero, you have to burn 20 fighters. No one's going to do
15 if you have a Genesis, which is a huge advantage eventually.
No one's going to do that until that price makes sense, which means whatever heroes are out there, those are the only ones that are going to be out there for a very long time. And as this game gets popular and people need that ticket of entry, that shit is going to squeeze. And, orcs, which have been the model in P2E, the model, and have been regularly at the top of the yield chart as far as which ones yield the most, which projects yield the most. Every once in a while, you'd get a wolf game or a creeps that would hop up and be up there for a week, or, it would temporarily take the spot because it was the initial hype phase of that game, and they would quickly run out to the lead. Well, after the last move orcs made, which turned the economy upside down and caused some supply imbalances, where Zug is now under $1, it's sitting at 90 cents last time I looked. Well, Raid Party has climbed to the top of the charts in a big way. Right now, if you buy a hero at 1.09, you will, and stake it, you will be earning anywhere from $75 to $100 a day, depending on what that hero's damage level is at. Most are, I believe, between 800 and 900 on the damage. And that will, when you think about what that yield is compared to Ether Orcs, which it's a 2.2 ETH entry right now, and you'll be lucky to make $14 a day on your Ether Orc right now. You buy one hero and stake it, you're making anywhere from $50 to $100 a day. This is an incredible yield for a game that still feels undervalued relative to the demand that I think is going to be coming in here any moment. You got to understand, you go into that Discord, you're in that verified chat. It is a who's who of everybody. Pranksy, Andrew Wang, Fleur, Not Katarina, all of these big names are in there, and they're not just in the game. They are in that chat, living it up, having a good time, joking around, talking about godly arise and, just really
and tweeting about it.
And they are fostering a community and a camaraderie in there that I have not seen in a long time. This game is still being undervalued in a big way, and I think a lot of it had to do with the delay, but I think all of that is starting to dissipate. I mean, most of the talk in the verified chat is FUD this motherfucker, get the price down. Shit, we everyone wants to build their parties. Well, it's getting harder and harder to build a party every day with the way price is ramping. And if you just look at what's being minted, how many heroes are available, how many fighters are coming on to, we had 3 godlies this week. Now, godlies are supposed to be once every 200 bosses based on the math. Okay. When the godlies come about, we get 100x the yield that we're normally supposed to get. You would think this would cause temporary imbalances in the confetti supply where confetti would dump anytime we get a godly. The opposite has happened. And we've had 3 in a fucking row. This is an indication that the demand for this game is far outstripping whatever available supply is there, even when we get juiced by a godly. I mean, it's very hard to not be more bullish on Raid Party. And here, final thing I'll even say, I like the art. I think people haven't even looked at or don't even care about the art again because it's a P2E, it's a yield thing, it's basically a yield fart. I think these heroes look fucking fabulous as PFPs. They're all women. I think people like that. And the fighters, they look fucking good too. The animation that they have, this is everything about this is.
I love having that screen up, like just in the background. I mean, I don't sit there staring at it, but it's just like always watching what monster is popping up, always watching, the damage output and all of that stuff. It's very true. I've said this a lot about traditional games and, P2E games can follow the same suit as, if they want to become popular. Simple to play, difficult to execute or to dive deep in, right? Like, it is very easy to understand the core aspect of this game. Get a hero, stake it. Get a fighter, stake it. Mint more fighters, more damage, more output. Like, it's a very simple feedback loop that intuitively makes sense, right? Upgrade for more damage. Once you get past that, there are a ton of choices to make in the game. Do you upgrade a fighter or do you fill your spots out first? Well, what does the math dictate and what does your risk tolerance dictate? There's also risk involved. Do I want to risk the 10% of burning a fighter, or am I going to save that for further on down the road? You can take that risk for a better reward. But again, it's a risk. And burning that fighter right now is basically burning $3,000. And your yield will be far greater for it. But again, it's a risk. Do you want to risk that?
Price 6,300 when you throw the 100 confetti in there.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Oh, and there's the 25 confetti that you got to do to upgrade it.
Oh, sorry, 25 confetti.
Yeah,
to throw in there. So
right.
You're risking,
which is not nothing now.
$100.
Exactly. So there's difficult choices to be made within the game that can impact your short-term or long-term yields, which are great. But now the game is becoming so successful and so fun with the community and everything that there's demand for it. The price is going up externally, right? The heroes are going up really, really high. The fighters are following suit. There's going to be more choices down the road. There's obviously going to be more aspects of the game involved in it. Like there's relics and items that are coming, et cetera, et cetera. There's going to be guilds. We haven't even talked about the fact that guilds are still on the horizon. That's going to be a lot of fun. But now there's really difficult external factors now too, because I look at this confetti yield and I know how much money I put into it, which I think was just over 3 ETH. I bought 2 more fighters off of the floor when they were lower, and then managed to claim another fighter with the failed auction drop. I did sell one of my fighters, and if I were to sell all my confetti right now that I've earned after, like, I have minted one since then, I would be break even on this. Right. So at this point now, the game doesn't owe me anything. And that's great. I was in there early or whatever. But, we held through a lot of FUD too. Right. Like there was a lot of shit being thrown in there. But That's not a pat on the back, by the way. What I'm saying now is I could let this ride, cash out my confetti to ETH, and let that sit there for more liquidity to participate in the market. I could cash that ETH out and make a substantial impact on my day-to-day life. Like, I'm looking at how much money I'm earning per week just off confetti. It is pretty fucking stupid. And those are the things that will propel any P2E game. It's not even explicitly unique to Raid Party, is tough choices, right? Like options, different ways to play the game and still succeed at it. You could, succeed by increasing your damage and increasing your yield output. You could succeed by taking all of your fighters and your heroes out of the wallet and selling them on OpenSea, and it would probably be a pretty good win right now. There are probably some people that threw a lot of money at the Genesis auction that are still kind of underwater, which is unfortunate. That's a whole other story. Or you could just use this as a yield farm, not increase the output, and just hope that confetti continues to stay as high a price as it is, because it's going to be an amazing yield for you in that way. And I mean, all of these things combined with the team just makes me super bullish on it. I can't say enough good things about it at this point.
Yeah, and I guess I'll leave you with this. The other day, Pranksy came in and said that he is taking RP out of his Discord folders. It went to the top of his Discord. You know how you have like your folders underneath and you're like mains up there? Well, guess what? It's one of Pranksy's mains now. I don't know. You get more bullish, baby?
Definitely a good advocate to have on your side when it comes to somebody that wants to participate in a project and be active. Because I mean, it's kind of funny, right? Pranksy seems like this like mythical figure when you talk about watching whale wallets and you talk about seeing him on Twitter and stuff like that. And it's funny to see him interacting with the peeps just in the Raid Party Discord. I mean, it shows that he's in. I have not a lot of love for Fleur, but I mean, Fleur is spending a lot of money on it. Auto Sue.
I have more love for Fleur than I did last week. I think she's a lot of fun in that.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, I don't know. You get into a community with people, you joke around for a few days, you start to have some fun. I don't know. I like all these people. Shout out V3, shout out. And I know it's not V3, it's whatever that Roman numeral is. I guess it's 8, but I don't know what to say. 8.
VIII.
VIII. Yeah. Well, shout out to everyone in that community. It's just a blast right now, and keep the good times rolling.
Yeah, I mean, honorable mention to Eternal Elves, which continue to, I think, hold the number 2 spot on the P2E yield power rankings right now too. Cool. I have the link up in the AM show chat if anybody wants to come hang out with us on this Monday morning. I'm sitting at about an hour on the show, so we can go for a little bit longer. If you guys have anything in the chat that you want to talk about, New Moon Monday out. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go check that one out. What is it, Bomber? Whatever could it be? April 4th, coming up quickly. I can't believe it. First day of spring, March 21st. Where does the time go? What do you got going on today, free market?
Let's see. I got the morning squeeze coming up at noon. I got I'm trying to work a Kaiju trade right now on Twitter. It's dangerous to do trades on Twitter, guys, but I think I may trust this person. I'm not sure. I'll send R2 the link, but R2 can help me out. He can let me know if this is
red flags.
Yeah, that's what I need. I need someone to let me know if this is red flag.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's listening right now, but there was a DGen Dojo member that unfortunately was victim of a hack this weekend too. So, guys, be very careful out there, especially on any devices that you're using your crypto and stuff on. It's always great to save a couple bucks here and there, but if you're doing it, understand that as risky as crypto and NFT are in the first place, you are adding a huge layer of risk. in that. And it doesn't even have to be like even just third-party programs that have nothing to do with crypto and NFT. I mean, hackers, black hats are out there in full force trying to get anything onto your devices to scan for, MetaMask wallets, seed phrases. Be careful. It's not a good situation to have to start over again.
Yeah. Did you get the link? Do you think I can trust this person?
Oh, you actually sent me. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we were like talking off show.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I allowed to?
Yeah, bring it up on the screen. Let's see. Trying to go. You got to bring up the whole thread, though. I just sent you the response.
What is going on here?
I'm
reading it.
This person bought my Grail. What do you want me to say?
When did you sell it?
I didn't. No, I didn't sell it.
Oh, it was one you wanted to buy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm understanding. Yeah. Okay, so this person's name is Nathan. O dots with 2 S. Let's see. 27,000 followers, building augmented. Yeah, I think you could trust this guy.
All right.
I think you'll be safe. Do I even have it pulled up on the screen? I'm joking around and then didn't even. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. He bought my Grail.
Which one are we looking at? He was buying green backgrounds or green Kaijus?
Can you guess which one is my Grail?
It's not that one.
What does that look like to you? Get the other one. Go to the middle one again. What does that look like to you?
A Ninja Turtle?
Yeah, that's the Ninja Turtle Kaiju. That's the fucking Grail right there. The Ninja Turtle Kaiju.
Raphael.
Yeah.
That chain is fucking sick too, man.
All right.
So, do you know how much he paid for it? What did that sale go for?
I want to say it was 8.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's awesome. Yeah. Are you going for it?
I'm literally in the DMs right now negotiating. This is my dream.
Yeah, I think you'll be all right there. Cass, what up?
Fuck me. Fuck.
Why? What happened?
Fuck. I didn't even know. Fuck. Fuck.
What are we talking about? What's going on?
R2. Fuck. R2. Fuck.
Fuck me.
Well, if he wants me to. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. Fuck.
Oh.
Hey. Fuck. So I take it.
Talk to me, Cass.
So I take it Star Wars ain't gonna be a PFP project then.
Well, I'll
There's some
you know, R2, a trailer may have been dropped while we were on air here.
Oh, I know.
Charlie waits for us to go on the air so that people could blindside us.
Yeah, I was like, hey, everyone's like, Moon Monday. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, I didn't know. I was just about to jump on, and then someone said Moon Monday, and I thought, oh, let's have a look. Wow. Can you not show it here? Are you not allowed to show it here?
Well, I mean, it's out in there's 5,000 people in the Discord. It's probably on Twitter. Is it on Twitter? Let's see. It's on Twitter. I'll show it.
Ah, dude. Fuck raid party. Fuck Kaiju, bro. Like, fuck everyone. Like, did you see the game?
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I have. Yeah.
Well, obviously I haven't. So I'm wow. Beg you show it.
What do we got here? March 14th now? That's
Nice.
the old one. Don't you worry. I don't know. I just that might be for people in the Discord. I'm just gonna leave it there for now.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
FMC. Fucking wow.
We need to run it through the proper authorization channels before we play it on the public show.
No, I mean it could be downloaded. I'd have to download it and pull it in there. We'll save it for tomorrow.
Impressive. Fucking impressive. Charlie's fucking goal. Nobo's goal. What are you guys?
I'm just always digging the music that he throws in these trailers.
Yeah, the music's
The fucking vibe, man.
sick. Yeah. Nah, he's Wow. That's throwing me off, really. Good morning.
Good morning.
How was your weekend?
Slow.
Slow. That's not a bad thing, though, is it? I don't know. I feel the nice weather is hitting Canada at a weekend rejuvenated. I don't know. It feels good.
Well, you're in Canada. I'm in the UK. UK is not exactly, nice. We're not really. Seriously, we get.
I've heard rumors.
It is so shit. You can get literally all 4 seasons in one day.
Yes. Well, not unlike Canada, to be honest with you. I think we just have less rain.
Yeah, no, I've had enough of the UK, dude. Get me on a plane, get me out of here.
Oh, I am ready to hop on a plane. I'm gonna book my tickets. I gotta actually book my shit for New York soon. When's that?
Oh, you can New York.
That's June.
June, yeah, man.
What's happening in June?
NFT NYC.
Cass, get your butt on a plane. It's
I
right
think-
over the pond, my friend. Right over the pond.
You know what? The funniest thing is, what I've been told is that we are going to not restrict, de-restrict, loosen, lack. Oh, basically, we don't need 3 vaccines to start traveling soon.
No. Everything's canceled in New York. No masks, no vaccines. You're free to go. It's all happy.
Getting on the plane was always the issue, but no, I'll come over. Okay.
Fuck yeah. Oh my god.
Get that date set. We should
Plan for NFT NYC. Woo! I can't even tell. Oh my god. Oh my.
You're gonna be right in the thick of it too, eh? You can just stumble home, or I guess Uber.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you after the show or later because I'm gonna have to book a hotel soon. I don't want to leave that too long.
What do you mean we're staying around FMC's house? we're going there, bro.
I love all you guys, and I'm gonna hang out and party with you. But I do like to have a room to go back to. I'm not a couch surfer.
You are not.
What's that?
I do like to have somewhere to go back to where you are not. Is your bottom line.
I say that with as much love as possible. I promise. That's not a slight.
I'll be jumping on your couch. It's all right. Don't mind. Get the couch ready.
Pull out. Yeah, that's exciting. I'm really looking forward to that. I've never actually been to New York either, so that's gonna be an experience for sure.
New York is
Scottish Guy NFT. There is a conference called NFT NYC that is at the end of June this year. Last year it was in November. They've moved it to summer this year, and I want to say it's the 26th. I forget the date.
20th to the 23rd. I actually have the site pulled up right here. NFT.NYC.
You probably can share the teaser in other Discords. Yes. I don't think that would be an issue. If it was put out in the Discord, it's fair game.
Have you guys been before?
To
this?
No. NFT NYC? No, I didn't go last year. I didn't know about it, and there were no tickets. I was invited to a few of the parties around it by none other than our own DJ Tropics, but I was under the weather at the time. I could not. I don't know if I had the thing, but I was quarantined at the time, so I could not go.
NFT LA, anyone? Not for me this year, but
do you know that's a really good idea?
What's up?
Sorry, just like expos, NFT expos.
Sure, yeah.
Well, NFT meetups.
They're all about community, right?
Yeah. It just reminds me of other expos that I've been to for other things, and expos are normally a really good place to network.
Yeah.
And also, like at the beginning stages of an industry, they're pivotal.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'll be interested in that.
I'm actually just looking right now. So the tickets into NFT NYC, the actual conference itself, are $600, or I think $1,600 for a VIP pass. Looks like rooms at the Marriott. $330 a night.
The thing is with New York, I don't know what it is. Maybe I just got it. But in the hotel rooms, you don't get much light or daylight,
Right.
because everything's stacked. Am I right in saying that? It just felt a bit.
In the hotel rooms?
Yeah, in hotel rooms. In the hotel rooms, it just felt a bit like in Manhattan when you're there. It just felt there was no sunlight. You were struggling to see sunlight. Because there was always buildings, loads of buildings.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Most of the hotels are stacked in Midtown. So that's where all the big buildings are. So the big buildings tend to blind, unless you're on a very, very high floor. There are some outlier hotels that'll be either on the west side, looking at the Hudson River, or downtown in the Battery, that get very good sunlight. But since most of the hotels are stacked in Midtown, you do have the effect of, if you're on one of the low floors, there's not much view, so to look out your window.
This was it. I think I was on the 20th, 20th floor, but that weren't high enough.
Yeah.
So
if you're balling, you want to be on 57th Street, between 5th Avenue, going because that's Central Park. Like all the hotels on Central Park, there's nothing obstructing them. You have, nature and light in front of you, but that's $500 to $1,000 a night for the shit room, right? For the room that's
for the plebs,
for the fucking closet. It's ridiculous.
It was nuts. It was nuts. Yeah, because I've only been there once. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
How actually maybe Airbnb is a good option there too.
Airbnb is definitely going to be your best option for both price and quality.
Right.
I am very Airbnb averse. I hate being in somebody else's. Like, I love hotels. I love them.
I do too, actually.
Service.
I mean,
I love the room service. Being in someone else's house makes me very uncomfortable.
I mean, I would be looking at renting or Airbnb like an actual like apartment where like it's not lived in. Like the intent is that it's an Airbnb.
Yeah. There's a ton of those around.
Yeah. You know what I love too, and I always get the strangest looks when I say this. I fucking love airports. Is that weird?
No, I've always loved airports.
Why do you love airports? Because like for example, there's some airports that looks like some train stations or some bus stations.
It's I mean, it's not the architecture or anything. It's the feeling. I don't know. There's so much going on. There's like shit from all over the world coming and going. There's people like I love the life in an airport. It's weird. That's why I love living in downtown cores of cities too. Is like, I love being on my balcony and like just watching life happen around it. It sounds corny, but I don't know. There's just something about airports that's just like so fun.
No, it's a vibe and everyone's energy because you're actually going on holiday or you're having fun or sometimes you might be stressed.
The bars are also open 24/7, which I'm okay with.
Yes. The only thing I don't like about airports is you can't smoke. And you get clogged up in a room where everyone is smoking, like 200 people, and by the time you come out of it, your whole globe smells cigarette.
Yeah, I mean, I used to smoke. I don't anymore. But I understand that feeling. What's that?
I only used to smoke when I did Redacted.
So, what are you guys looking at this week? Is there anything on your radar this week?
Well, I'm going to be watching the Juicebox Frens now. I'm intrigued, and I think I'm going to pick one up, maybe one or two up after the show, just to have some skin in the game in it. I think that there's something that I like enough about them that it'll be at least fun to have some exposure to. I've certainly picked up some worse shit. I have some Ali and friends that are sitting there.
Fucking hell, bro! I don't know why you went so high on that.
I don't know. It was right before the volume dropped off in the NFT space, and I was like, this is one of those things that's either gonna break and go ridiculous, or I'm gonna lose out on. I lost. I'm okay with it. I'll live. But it was just like, it was a really bad purchase. I bought way too high on that.
Yeah, no, I was because when I heard you purchase, I was like, why did RT purchase it? Like,
Sometimes you just get the degen itch, you know, and you're just like, I'm watching some of these other, like, you know, Asian inspired projects just go absolutely bonkers. They lost a lot of momentum when they got delisted off OpenSea. I will say that.
They did.
I will buy a live of Asuna one of these days. I think they were at 0.19 last time I looked. I'm still waiting for my waifu to show up on the floor.
Oh, bro, Bay Cafe, bro. If you want waifu,
yeah, I heard.
I went into that Discord cast. What are you getting me into?
I heard of the Bay Cafe. Yeah.
Bay Cafe. And you know what's something really cool as well? What I've noticed is the Uru crew. Am I saying that right?
Yes,
Uru,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They seem to be linked with anything anime.
Right.
Or anything female anime. Yeah, because like some of the Uru lot are in Bay Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Same Bad Girlfriend. Same as this next one called Anibay. Anibay looks pretty cool as well. But yeah. Yeah, if you want wifey material, dude, it's Bay Cafe.
I mean, no disrespect to any of it, but it's not a world that I'm familiar with or understand. I've tried. I've had some friends in the past that were very into anime, and I mean, I really tried to give some of that stuff its fair shake, but at the end of the day, it just isn't for me. And I know
not enough.
Not
enough hockey in the anime.
It could be, yeah. It just
anime. Hey, oh geez, anime.
Oh yeah, freaking heck, bud. I see what you did there,
Anime.
No, I don't. It doesn't speak to me personally, and it's hard for me to spend money on that stuff.
No, I can appreciate that. One of the main reasons I enjoy anime now was because I watched anime when I was younger, Akira and shit like that, and I thought, oh, this is cool. Like, but I never really got into it. It was Initial D because I'm into cars. Yeah, and Initial D was based around cars. I just got sucked in, and then yeah, I just like the art after that. So, yeah,
I think I could probably try and get into some of the cyberpunk ones that are very like dystopian corporate futures, stuff like that.
I grew up with a friend who's an adult entertainer named Asa Akira.
serious.
Fun fact.
I can hear Cass Googling right now.
I'm actually not. Free market is very knowledgeable, so sometimes I kind of don't Google.
Asa, shout out. Asa.
Back to your initial question, Cass. Like, yeah, I forgot now. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the Juicebox Frens, and I don't know. I saw this paper hands game. I don't know. Some people were talking about that. I don't think I'm gonna participate, but I was looking at it.
Hello,
what do you got,
Bros? It's like the cook of the week minting tomorrow. Small Bros.
Who?
Small Bros.
Oh, sorry, you were cutting out there. It wasn't that?
I know.
Is that
Pat, are you on this one? The Small Bros?
No.
No.
Is that
I swear to God, it's just it's another fucking doodle derivative. It's not a derivative. They're not claiming they're doodles. But if you look at them, you know what it looks like? It looks like that Human Catchers project. It's like an exact copy of Human Catchers or Boichi or Boki. Boki, is that what it's called? What is Butric's new whatever?
Boki, yeah.
Go look at Small Bros, like BROS, Small Bros. This is blessed by Doodles Alpha, and everyone's convinced it's going to 3 ETH because of that really hard allow list to get. I'm not sure how many are public. I know they did a premint.xyz raffle. I guess I should check if I fucking won that.
Oh, these doodle-looking things.
Yeah, that's what that yeah, look at these. How is this? How I don't understand how they can just do this 800 times and it does it every time, and it's being blessed by Doodles Alpha. Come on, I mean, they're not bad looking, but is it saying anything new? Is there any evidence here? What is this?
But then it could be it could be a case to capture the new people in. So
Oh,
so that's the only reason I can see why it feels like Groundhog Day.
yeah. Well, it's true. Look, when somebody comes into NFTs new for the first time, they know two things. They know punks and apes. And that's why there's so many punks and apes derivatives. Because if you can't afford one and that's all you know NFTs to be, you're probably going to go out and just buy one of the cheaper ones. And then you can say, I have an ape, even though you don't know it means you don't have an ape. But that's not what what a new person understands. And with Doodles becoming such a force, not just in NFTs, but mainstream. I think it's one of the few projects that's breaking through to even, the mainstream art crowd where Doodles are recognizable now. So
I'm looking at this picture and it's looking like collabs, isn't it? So
it's the same fucking 10 projects. It's Alien Friends, Invisible Friends, Cool Cats, Mori's, Species, Starcatcher,
Tasty Bones,
and Tasty Bones. Right. I mean, it's the partnership meta is getting a little tired too, because unless the partnership is more than just like, hey, we're going to hand you allow list spots, which is great. It provides value to communities, but I think we use the word collab or partnership way too strong in that sense.
100%, because I think a lot of people presume a collab is just, helping the other person out, and that's a collab when it should be a bit more. But saying that, going really back to, I think the video that you guys showed in regards of BAYC in terms of collabs.
Yeah.
It just seems like you're getting pockets of groups collabing, getting ready for more influx of people to come into the summer.
Yeah.
So everyone can capitalize. So yeah, we're going to be blessed with loads of more derivatives over the next year, I think.
Well, NFTs don't have a talent problem. They have a management problem. There's a lot of very talented artists and devs out there, but there's not a lot of talented management teams. So it's no surprise to me that Yuga can just walk in, throw their BDE on the table and be like, look, get down or lie down. This is, we're the only ones who know what we're doing here. So
Mr. Showcase is asking, how is it that CyberKongs isn't on that list? What?
It's so...
Is CyberKongs losing relevance? Like, I just
really
don't hear about them anymore.
I feel strangely bearish and bullish at the same time. Like, I think I feel like they're losing their relevancy as other new projects have copied and almost... I can't say they've done it better, but they've certainly gained more cultural relevance right now than Kongs have. These feel, not a damn person outside of NFTs knows what these are. This is like an inside NFT thing. No one's going to fucking know what this PFP is.
Which is fine, too. You're allowed to have
No,
your
it's
niche,
fine. Look,
yeah.
Kaijus. No one knows what a fucking Kaiju is outside of NFTs either. It's just people calling, Gen Kongs a blue chip on the same level as punks and apes are really missing something. And here's where I look at it. I'm short-term bullish on Kongs just because it's such a real community that's been left for dead in a way that they must be gearing up to make a run here at some point.
Mm-hmm.
As far as if they're going to turn into like the next quote unquote blue chip, I don't know about that. I think that Doodles, Azuki, Cool Cats all have a jump on them that they can't quite get over right now.
I don't know. It's weird you say that, because I was actually looking at them a couple of days ago, because I was thinking, where did they go?
Yeah.
Kongs?
Yeah.
It's a great point. It's a great point.
I'm short-term bullish. Like, these are going to have a moment just because everyone's not talking about them. You know how when something goes too quiet?
And the thing is, I mean, you just look at Sandbox.
Right.
Yeah, and look at the plot of land they've got in Sandbox. Plus also the VX models. So I believe they were gearing up towards that.
Yeah. Oh, that's them now. Like, this, as far as I'm concerned, it's CyberKongs and Sandbox versus Apes and Yuga. I mean, Sandbox is now a CyberKongs world, period. After that move by Yuga the other day.
So this is so it's either they work with it,
Mm-hmm.
or they kind of look into either making their own, which is going to take some time,
Right.
or you kind of work with NFT Worlds or someone that's kind of somewhat there. But blue chip, I don't know, it's weird, man. Like that word blue chip gets flung around, but if I was to kind of name, like in September, if you told me in October, that Doodles was going to be a blue chip,
Mm-hmm.
I would have said fuck off.
Right.
Yeah. Honestly, I even looked at it at 0.3, 0.4, and I thought, nah.
Right.
And I feel like the biggest idiot for it, you know?
Uh-huh.
So,
yeah,
I think you got to put BAYC as the spearheading NFT, whichever way you look at it, because they have got more presence and they've got more clout.
Right.
And yeah, from time you have that many derivatives of one product, more than any other, which is an ape,
yeah,
they're doing something right. So you have to put them in the realms of, especially after they've got punks and shit like that. That is blue chip at the moment.
I threw that towel in December. I said there's two ways you could become a blue chip, and that is stand the test of time or gain a real cultural premium, which I think apes have that. I mean, they're more owned by celebrities and athletes than punks. They have a cultural premium I don't think's ever going to go away. Even when they have their 50% drawdowns and shit, I don't even think it phases people. Like, it's, these are here to stay. These are the preeminent collection in NFTs. It's hard to say otherwise.
No, I agree.
Let's really quickly just talk about Gen Art. Artblocks is doing a curated today. Their typical Dutch auction. Yeah.
Let me see it. Can you zoom in on it a little? I'm too far out.
I'll pull the screen out like that.
It's all right.
If there's some good variety in this project, I think that could be a pretty fun one. Like, this is, oh God, it's just my internet that's rugging me today. I don't know. I definitely think that. Oh, Jesus Christ! Apparently, it just takes a long time to load. There could be something. I mean, I think that looks nice. It's like a traditional art piece hanging on the wall or something. Like, are we feeling a generative art run here at any time, or are we just waiting for hardware to be prevalent enough that it matters? I saw Whale Shark on Twitter going after PFP projects, basically just saying they're completely irrelevant. And I mean, take it with a grain of salt because that's coming from a traditional art collector. But I mean, is it just hardware? Is this just dependent on hardware? People need a way to flex it?
No.
It's just gonna have a meta. Okay, it's gonna have a phase.
I might be completely wrong in this, or in this thought process in terms of art. Art will always be art. If you own the art, the blockchain enables you to verify that you are the owner of that piece. If you replicate it to put it on your wall, or to get some sort of NFT frame to put it up on, let's just say, or you can transfer it into a museum or into an art gallery where you can flex it there to say you're the owner of that piece. But that's the job of what art is, and it will be depending on the artist and depending on the popularity of the art. But the actual tech of NFTs and the actual potential of what you can do with an NFT surpasses art beyond, So I think it would be more of a case of the art. Art will always be beautiful, and art will always hold value, just depending on who does it, who finds it popular, who wants it.
Well, we talk about time frames with NFTs, long-term holds, short-term trades, all that stuff. I think more than any other segment of this market we talk about, art blocks are something you have to think about on a 1, 2, 3, 5, and 10-year time horizon. I have said this before, and I said it a lot last summer. I believe the art blocks curated floor will be $1 million one day. I don't even think that's out of. I don't even think that's out of bounds to say. When you look at the amount of art at Sotheby's that sells at that type of price, and what Art Blocks Curated represents as far as this movement, and I don't know if it's going to play out tomorrow, but I genuinely believe most Art Blocks Curateds will have $1 million floor in the next decade. And yeah, Dickens is pointing out squiggles. I couldn't be more fucking bullish on Chrome squigs than I am right now, and no one's talking or cares about them. So I think art blocks is something you really have to take a long-term view on. As we know, the trading on them kind of went away when they changed their model to the one that it is currently.
I couldn't agree with you more. But then that's what I'm saying, it's art.
Yeah.
And in normal everyday art, it's the same thing. It takes time.
Mm-hmm.
To gain value. It takes time to become a piece, unless you're a really well-known artist. But then even then, it must take time to
that's really well-known artists are 20-year overnight successes, right?
Exactly. So,
they'll get out there, become a huge hit, be relevant in the art world, all that stuff. But I mean, they've been working in a shitty studio for 20 years trying to make that happen. Yeah, I agree. The time horizons are just completely different on that. It's a fascinating conversation, though. I love it. All right, guys. Anything else you want to talk about free market? I think we could start wrapping this up. Just hit a hour and a half. Sorry, pardon me.
I am good to go.
We're good to go. Cass, how you feeling? Looking forward to a good day?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a good day. So yeah, I'm gonna look back at that video and dissect it.
Yeah, I know you are. You're gonna freeze frame everything and try and find some little hints or Easter eggs or something in there.
Great.
I'll give you one little tidbit.
Go on.
Check around the 25-second mark.
Sick. Thank you.
I'm just fucking with you. I was just gonna say, I was gonna let that ride and be like, "What is it?"
No. I'll just. It won't take me that long to check 25 seconds, and I'll be like, "What the fuck?"
No, I'm just there. All right, my dude. We'll catch you again soon. All right.
Peace.
Later, Cass.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Always good to be back on a Monday, feeling good. First day of spring, maybe good times just around the corner for NFTs too. Sort of seems like that. If you tuned in late, just a quick recap. We actually talked quite a bit about the overall market, where ETH is, where the S&P 500 is in relation to it. A lot of talk about ETH being burned and the supply crisis that could come with it. A little bit of talk about Vitalik and his hilarious exchange with Tom Brady. Went through ApeCoin a little bit more with the Yuga Labs teaser trailer that they dropped, the Otherside. Are some of those projects getting a big pump from it? Juicebox Frens is in pre-reveal right now. We talked a little bit about the Muri reveal. Went through the 10K TF and Gucci drop, which is kind of wrapping up. The reveal should be shortly, I think tomorrow. Raid Party. We had a lot of conversation about Raid Party. No, we've been talking about Raid Party a lot right now, but I mean, it is absolutely crushing it. People are having so much fun with it. And it's one of the things that are curing some of the boredom in this market right now. So, of course, it's going to be up on YouTube and Spotify for your viewing and or listening pleasure. We appreciate everyone showing up. As always, free market, take us away.
Good luck at the table, D-Gen.